What's going on, everyone? Today is a fantastic day, and the reason for that is because the pre-orders for the NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusives went up today, and I was able to lock in my pre-order for the Ninja Turtles 3 movie 4-pack, and that's the 4 turtles and their samurai armor from the third Ninja Turtles movie, and man, they look so amazing, and I am just so excited for those. I don't know when the 4-pack is going to ship. I'm hoping it's soon. So when it does, I am definitely going to be reviewing that on this channel. And to celebrate locking in that pre-order and just kind of going back and taking a look at some older figures, I wanted to review the first releases of the Ninja Turtles from NECA. For the movie line. Like, these look really cool, and you know, of course, these were the ones that came out. They were exclusive to GameStop at first, and I want to just go ahead and do like a review on these, you know, to see how they've lasted over the years, see how they've held up to the test of time. Because believe it or not, it's actually been a while. So I want to do a little review for these because I wasn't able to back then. So I thought this would be a really cool, fun video to kind of go back, check out these Ninja Turtles, and do a little review on them, and to celebrate getting that pre-order in. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, right, the mail's here. Woohoo! Yeah!
Hey, Mikey. Yeah? Want some pizza? Radical, dude. Hey, Kakarot.
What's up, Vegeta?
Today's the day I will finally defeat you.
Oh, right, bring it on.
Everyone, back to your places. He's coming.
Oh, right, I can't wait to open this. Oh, look, we have another friend.
I hope they're strong.
I hope he's cute.
What?
DudeRetro Toy Reviews. Alright, and here we are. This is all 4 turtles from the NECA movie line. These are based off of the first Ninja Turtles movie. I don't have the 4 turtles from The Secret of the Ooze, and the reason for that is just because they're really similar to these, and I already had these, and I just didn't really feel like buying the same figures again, just with minor differences to them. I mean, I know the faces are a little different, like especially with the mouths and the eyes. I know the faces are a little different, but they're just so minor, and I really did not want to drop all that money for a 4-pack of turtles that I already pretty much had. So I don't have those. I just have the movie 1 turtles, but that's good enough for me. So let's go ahead and get into these. And these are some of my favorite figures in my collection. Mostly because I have always wanted these turtles ever since I was a kid. Like, the live action movies were amazing. The first movie I actually ever saw in theater was the Ninja Turtles 3 movie. That was actually my first movie I ever saw in theaters. So that makes it even more exciting for the fact that I was able to get my pre-order in on those turtles, because it's just so exciting. And I just love going through and showing you the details that NECA put into these. Like, these are just amazing. Like, Raph, he has all these little marks on his back, like on his shell, where it looks like he's kind of been a little roughed up and everything through like battles and stuff. And the belt is a little loose, but it's glued back here, so the belt isn't going to fall down, but it is like a soft, bendy, kind of like rubber material, so that's really nice. But yeah, so that's the detail on Raph. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mikey here. Look at Mikey and check this out. Really, really cool. So yeah, that is Mikey. So let's go ahead and take a look at Leo. So I am going to go through the articulation, but I'm not going to do the articulation for all four separately. They pretty much share the same body. So I'm just going to go through the articulation on one of the turtles. But I do want to go through and show you all the detail for each one. That way you can kind of see some of the minor differences that there are. I mean, some of them, like Leo, he has like these little dots and stuff right here on his skin, whereas Mikey over here, he does, but not as many. So they share, like I said, they share the same body, but as far as like the paint and all that kind of detail goes, they are different. And of course, the head sculpt is different too, because they have like different facial like expressions. This is Donnie. You see like Donnie and let's see, Leo, like all of their shells are different. Which is actually something that, so it looks like Leo and Mikey, they have the same shell. Because this is something, like I was going to say, this is something that I didn't know until doing this. I didn't know that Donatello had a different shell. What does Raph have? Okay, yeah, so Raph's is the same. Looks like Raph's might be the same as Donatello's, except Raph, he has all the scars on his, whereas Donatello doesn't. But it looks like Mikey and Leo, their shells are the same. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, dudes? I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, now let's get back to this video. Cowabunga, dude! So let's go ahead and get into the articulation, and I'm going to do the articulation on the best turtle. And so that is going to be Michelangelo here. So Mikey, he looks up that much. He looks down that much. Head cocks to the side like that, and like that. And there is like a little bit of like a bend right here. Like he does kind of like articulate a little bit. I think there's possibly like a ball joint or something that's in the chest, but because of the shell, the way it's sculpted, it doesn't allow him to really tilt side to side, but it is there. He does kind of wiggle a little bit. And there is no butterfly joint on this, but the shoulder does go all the way around. It goes up about that far. I don't want to bend it further, because I feel like if I do, it might break. But it goes up that far, it goes down that much. And there is a double elbow. There is a double elbow joint right here, but because of this elbow guard, doesn't really get much. You're not going to get much of a bend out of that. Don't want to push it any further because I'm afraid it might break. Wrist turns just like so. Oh, and there is a little swivel right here at the elbow. Didn't want to leave that out. And hands do go in and out like so. And right here at the thigh, of course, there is no waist swivel, because this is a full solid shell sculpt, so there is no break or anything in the shell, so there is no swivel at the waist. Leg goes up that much. It goes out that much. The leg right here kind of hits the shell, and it doesn't allow it to go any further than that. And there is a double joint right here at the knee, but because of this shin guard, you only get about 90 degrees out of that. Then right here down at the ankle, you do got ankle bends up. It goes down really nice. Then there is a ankle pivot really good. So that is Mikey, and that is going to be virtually the same on the other 4. So now that we're done with the detail and the articulation, let's go ahead and get into the accessories and check those out. And so, well, I'll just go ahead and leave Mikey out, and I'll show him. So Mikey comes with 2 nunchucks, and I don't know can't remember how many hands total there were for each turtle. I could probably count, because I separate all of my accessories in one of these little organizers. One of my best friends got me this. My wife, she got me some other ones, and so I love like these types of things because I'm able to kind of separate and organize my accessories and just kind of keep everything like super easily accessible. And because they all share like the same skin tone, like they're not different as far as a different color, I just kind of keep all the hands in the same thing, so I can't remember which ones belong to which. So sorry about that. But Mikey comes with these 2 nunchucks, and then there's also all of these hands here. This one I'll get to in a second. You get all of these hands, and they're all kind of situated into all of the other turtles as well. So excuse me for not knowing which ones come directly with the turtles, but these are all of the hands these are all of the alternate hands that I have for the 4 turtles. And set that over there. And this one right here, I did want to get to, and I want to point this out. Be very careful if you have any of these turtles, or if you're thinking about getting them, because like I said, NECA is just now coming out with the movie 3 turtles, and you can still find these turtles at Walmart. I've been going to my Walmart, and I'm seeing the 2-packs that they have now, and there's still plenty of them sitting on the shelves. So these turtles are not too hard to come across. So definitely keep an eye out at your local Walmarts, or even some of your local toy stores. They may have them. And so if you're curious about getting these and you want to swap out the hands, be super careful, because these hands are like super soft, which is good for like holding accessories, because it allows this would be for Leo, but it allows for like the hand to really kind of bend and flex and get around like the weapon and hold it. But because this is like kind of like a rubber material, if you try to pull the hand off and you just grab here and you just lift off right here, this little thing right there, that little rubber piece goes through this little, let me show you. So this right here is plastic, this part right here that goes into the wrist. But there's a little rubber piece that's sculpted into the hand that goes through. There's like a little hole right here, and it goes through and connects across to allow, the hand to be on this little joint right here that kind of allows it to bend. But because this right here is rubber, it's very flexible. And so if you try to pull this off and you're not careful, this rubber piece will bend. Will like kind of flex and tear, and it just ripped right off. And I pretty much just destroyed this hand. And I don't really have the peg right here that would go onto this hand anymore, so I could try to fix it. Because I was thinking maybe about maybe gluing it, but I can't find the peg anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I don't have it anymore. So that's what happened with that. So be very careful with these. And I'm still terrified to this day to pull the hands off and swap them out. That's why I didn't want to show in this video swapping this hand out, because I don't want to tear it. They're just that fragile that they can easily tear. I'm hoping this is something that they fixed down the road, because these are the first release when they were the singles at GameStop. They're exclusive at GameStop, and I know they've re-released them ever since in like 2 packs and even like 4 packs. So hopefully it is something that they have fixed now, and especially with this new 4 pack that they got coming out, hopefully they fixed it with the 4 pack for the movie 3 Turtles. So hopefully this is something you don't have to worry about. But if you do have these turtles, or if this is still an issue with the newer re-releases, be very careful swapping the hands out. They will tear. And so let's go ahead and get into these accessories. Like I said, Mikey comes with these nunchucks, and he doesn't have his hands on to hold the nunchucks. So let me get one of these here. So this is one of these hands right here that the turtles come with, and it just goes on like so, and it holds it no problem at all. And this is like a little rope material that connects the nunchucks together. And then right here you have 2 sides for Raph. So let me move this stuff out of the way. So you have 2 sides right here for Raph. And he just holds these like so. No problem whatsoever. And I like to have one just kind of holding down that way. That looks really cool. And then Donnie here, of course, he comes with his staff. So just slides right down on his hand, and he holds it no problem. And also, I need to go back to Raph, because there is storage. So Raph, he has these little strings right here on his back, and you can slide this down there. It stays in his back, and surprisingly, it doesn't fall. So that's really cool. Take that back out and go back to Raph, because Raph does have storage on his belt as well. Store the side right there on his belt. And then Mikey, with his, they go on the sides. This is the only place on his belt where I could even think about like possibly like storing them, is I put them on the side like that. That's the only place that I could think of where to store them, because there's no other place to store these besides right there. So that's that. And then of course you have Leo. And Leo, he holds his swords no problem. And also one thing to consider with these is the swords are also very fragile. This one actually broke. Don't know if you can see. Let me take it off. See if I can try and get a good look right here. I don't know if you can see right here at the base how the sword's actually a little crooked, and that's because it snapped. I had Leo just standing up on the shelf, and he just fell forward, and just because he fell forward and just landed on the shelf, it's not like he fell off of the shelf. He just landed forward. But because he was holding the sword out like this, and when the sword landed and it hit the shelf, it just snapped right here. And I had to use some glue to put it back and to fix it. But yeah, like these things are really fragile, so they will snap easily. So that is another thing to think about with these. But he does have storage back here as well. And I'm not entirely sure why it's exposed right here like that, but it is. Really weird, but it looks really cool. And then you also have alternate bandanas. So let's go ahead and check out Leo, and you can see Leo's. All right, and you just pull that off like so, and then Leo. See if I can put it on camera. There we go. Just had to push it in. And this one has more of like a flowing like effect to it, where it's kind of going around his head more. Whereas this one here just kind of laid down, kind of like around his shoulder. That's really like the difference. And each turtle, they have pretty much the same bandanas, I believe. And then besides these, you also get pizzas. You also get little pizza slices. And one of these, I think it's this one right here that looks a little different. I think that one's for Splinter, because I do have Splinter. And he comes with his own pizza slice as well. Because the 4 turtles, they just have the 4 to make half of a pizza. But then Splinter, he comes with one, and you can make that. That's really cool. So yeah, you have these little pizza slices, and the turtles can hold them. See if we can get this hand to hold it. Yep. And they can hold it, and it holds no problem at all. So that's not going to drop. And so that's everything as far as the articulation, accessories, and detail. So let's go ahead and get into the size comparison. All right, let's go. Oh, right. And as we bring the measuring tape up, it looks like Raph is standing just at 6.5 inches tall. Now, I don't have all 4 turtles up here. They're all pretty much the same body, so I just have one up. And for the first size comparison, I wanted to bring the Super 7 Ultimates Raphael. I thought it'd be pretty cool to have both Raphaels standing next to each other. And the NECA Raphael is standing taller than the Super 7 one. Super 7 does scale a little bit smaller. And up next, I wanted to bring a 6-inch scale figure. So here is the Lightning Collection Ryu Power Ranger. Alright, and next up, I wanted to bring in the Masterverse He-Man. Masterverse figures are 7-inch scale, and while both figures here are 7-inch scale figures, the turtles in the movie line do run a little bit smaller. And lastly, just for fun, I wanted to bring in the Master Grade Gundam Epion. Now, I wanted to bring this in just because he was already sitting on my desk. I do plan on customizing him, so that's why he was sitting on my desk, and I just figured, you know what, I'm going to bring him up here. That way, if there's any Gunpla builders that are watching this video, they can see how tall the NECA movie turtle will stand up next to a Master Grade Gundam. Alright, and that's going to do it for my review for the NECA movie turtles from the first Ninja Turtles movie. Now, these turtles are okay. They're fragile, and as you can see, the sword on Leo broke again. I was trying to put the sword back into his hand so I can put him on the turntable for this little shot, and the sword broke. Extremely frustrating. I was really upset about the fact that the sword broke again. And then Mikey's hands, how his broke, that I showed you earlier in the video. So everything about these, they're really fragile. You have to be really careful when handling these. The hands can rip off and the weapons can break pretty easily. And besides the figures being fragile, the articulation is just okay. It's not amazing. It's decent. The looks on these figures, that's what sells it. These figures are highly detailed and they look fantastic. So if you have that nostalgia feeling for the original Ninja Turtles movie, definitely get these. But if you're on the fence about them and you're just not sure, it really all kind of depends, because these are the best looking turtles you're probably ever going to get when it comes to the original Ninja Turtle movies. So yeah, it's up to you to make that decision from what you've seen in this video, if they're worth the money or not. For me personally, these were worth it. I love these figures. I adore them. Despite the issues that I do have with them, I still love them. So it's all up to you for your feelings that you have for that original Ninja Turtle movie. So that's going to do it for my review. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, if you could please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm DudeRetro, and I'll see you next time.